Yeah, I would say that Thrill was like, you know, I don't know. I was definitely coming from when I moved into college, I was definitely, I would say, a lot more immature than Thrill. And that's just coming from how we grew up, like, I feel like I grew up very coddled. I think that's the word. Like, yeah, I feel like I had a lot of experiences to like experience still at the age of like how
Especially
old was I?
being
18?
in California for the first
Yeah,
time.
and so like, just it I would say being your roommate did help me grow up. It did help the transition a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're welcome.
I mean, hey man, thanks. I can't say thank you for that.
Yeah.
That's you were a good role model in that regard. Also the first person that I smoked weed with, so it's a double-edged sword, right?
Yeah.
Like good. Oh, I mean, is that something? How should we? How PG are we keeping this?
That's on you, man. I don't have anything to hide.
Oh, me neither.
Yeah,
I
okay.
mean, well. No. This is an inside joke. It's not
Yeah,
that.
you guys will figure that out. Never.
No, yeah,
You'll never figure out what we're talking about.
Never. It's an inside joke. That brothers. It's that level.
Yeah. We can. I mean, I think this is gonna be as much as letting them into our lives as we're going into their lives.
Okay. Should we tell that story? Should we tell the story about the first time I smoked weed because of the thrill?
Because of me?
I mean,
In a way.
it wouldn't have happened if you weren't there.
Yeah.
All right. So, all right. Let me tell this story. This might actually be a good story to animate. All right. So, if you watch,
haven't animated this
I know, but it looks like it's about to happen.
Yeah.
So this is the story of the first time I smoked weed, right, with the thrill. And period in my life, first time I ever smoked weed. So, I've only up until this point, I'm what? I'm guessing 19 years old, right? I'm either I was about to turn 19 or I was 19 already.
Yeah.
And I only had one experience with weed up until that point in my life. Excuse me. Only had one experience with weed up until that point in my life. And that was the brownies. And I made an animation about that. You can check that out. Magic brownies.
Magic brownies.
Magic brownies. And, it just never came up again. Like during high school, like it was around, but I was never like pressed to do it. None of my friends tried to peer pressure me into it. And none of my friends were straight up stoners. I was a basketball athlete, so all my friends were athletes. And in general, my closest friends, stayed away from that just as an athlete, So I go to college, and it's just pretty much the same thing. But, it is California. It's part of the culture over here.
Blaze it, fool.
Yeah, part of the culture over here, right? And one day I come home, and my boy, The Thrill, is gutting out an apple, right? He had an apple, and he's gutting it out. And I'm like, yo, what are you doing? He's like, oh, I got some gas, but I don't have any papers or anything to roll it. So I'm like, so what are you doing with the apple? He's like, oh, I'm gonna use this like a pipe, like like a weed pipe. And I'm like, what? How? And he's like, just look. So he has a knife and I think a pencil, and with the two of them, he manages to make
Real science project shit.
yeah, like some kind of a crude like pipe, and puts the weed at the top, and I remember at first it wasn't hidden. Do you remember that?
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember at first it wasn't hidden because like when it comes to you need
Kind of an entry hole.
yeah, you need so you like how we had it at first, it was just the weed sitting at the top of the apple, right? Mm-hmm. That was the bowl, and then you had the hole to inhale. But every pipe you need another hole to allow air to come in. Without that, it's not gonna work.
You tell a good story. You should do this online.
I mean, I might start a career telling stories.
Yeah.
So anyways, right? So we're doing it and it's like not hidden. And it's like, fuck, I guess I don't know what the fuck I'm doing. And then it just like he had a eureka moment. Boom, put in the next hole.
Jimmy Neutron, man.
Exactly. Hit that shit, and then we had action.
I
right?
still have
it was
vision.
ready.
The vision of you, because you were the one doing it, and I'm like,
Yeah.
damn, why is this working?
Yeah.
Your eyes went from like to,
and
and I was like,
yeah, because he's
Action.
like, yeah, he's like, I'm hitting it. He's like, no, you gotta, and then so we figure it out, and I hit it, and for the first time in like, I'm guessing at this point it would have been 3-4 years. I'm high, right? But this is the first time I'm ever high off of smoking weed.
yeah.
And I remember just losing my fucking mind, bro. I remember we had like a blow-up mattress in the living room, and I was doing flips onto the mattress. Because I was like, my body feels weird, like I mean, anyone who smokes weed, you know what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
Like everything, you become super sensitive to sounds and feelings. And like, so yeah, I just remember just running around the apartment and just doing flips onto the mattress, just feeling everything. So that was the first time I got high.
Chopping this bitch up.
Right? No, we don't have to. We just, that's the first time I got high with Thrill. Fucking, smoking out of an apple.
Smoking out of an apple.
That was interesting. And
Don't do drugs, kids.
don't do drugs as I sip this alcohol.
Yeah. Well, no, the first time I ever smoked weed,
When was the first time you smoked?
I was probably 12, 13.
Wow. You grew up in a rough neighborhood.
Yeah, I did. Yeah, it wasn't the best. I saw a crack rock when I was like in the 6th grade.
Sheesh, I've never seen crack.
I thought it was a regular rock. Like, if I was on the playground, there was a crack rock next to like other rocks, I'd be like, oh, just a white rock.
They're just stones.
Yeah, I didn't
They're all
know
rocks.
baking soda is in that.
Yeah.
And I was with my cousin,
Okay.
who has been to prison before.
Wow.
This is foreshadowing, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's like, hey man, you want to go to Julio house and smoke? And I'm like, 12? Mm-hmm. Like, yeah, I've never smoked before. Mm-hmm. And then I went over there and he had like this old, like 1940s pipe. Like this pipe must have been through like World War II, how old it was. Like, I mean like that type of pipe, right?
Mm-hmm. Oh shit. Okay.
Yeah,
Was
one
it
of
like
those.
wooden?
Yes.
Oh, I've always wanted a pipe like that.
I don't.
Okay.
And my cousin was like, yeah, we gonna go smoke at Julio's. And I was always at my grandma's house.
Yeah.
So we went to Julio's house and then we were smoking and I'm like, this isn't doing anything, man. Like, I don't know what I'm supposed to be feeling right now or whatever. And then my cousin was like, it's like a movie. My cousin was looking at me. He was like, yo, you good? And he's like, your eyes are red. And I was like, yeah, I'm good. And then he goes, slap me. And I fell.
Wait, did you have to like get up? Like you had to walk over to him and try to slap him?
Yes.
And you fell?
Yes. I felt
Wow.
like somebody.
You were
had-
12?
Yeah, 12. 12. I was in
Sheesh.
middle school for sure.
Okay, damn.
And I fell.
Yeah.
And then I realized that was not for me. Besides continuously doing it through college.
Of course. That's how it always goes. Yeah, that's how I feel like that's drugs in general. I feel like regardless of the drug, the first time you do it, you're like, this shit's stupid.